Global.
Okay, man, what's good? What's good?
What up, though?
For those who don't know who you are, man, who are you?
So you know what it is, man. Big D the Mogul, a.k.a. Suge Diddy, a.k.a. Illuminati Jack, a.k.a. Big Thanos, a.k.a. Heaven on Earth, a.k.a. Dry Rub Shorty. Why? Because I'm good before the drip. I don't need no sauce, you understand?
Yes, sir. Hey, how you get all them AKAs, bro?
Hey, man, shit, I've been doing a podcast long enough. I said every episode I was going to add a new name.
Yeah.
By episode 6, I can start forgetting them. So I was like, shit, this ain't gonna work.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Now, bro, I've been keeping up with you for a long time, man. You know what I'm saying? Well, I first got wind of you when you was managing Gun, Fat Boogie, I think Streets too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's when I really like kind of caught wind of what you was doing. Now that era is kind of like you was managing, and also it was like Say Cheese was coming up, and like the same era. Now, for those who don't know, around that time, like, what was y'all relationship all together?
Man, so shit. Initially, shout out to my cousin C Green. You know, him and Kai best friends.
Okay.
Sitting on each other since elementary school or whatever, second grade, something like that.
Okay.
I had moved here from Georgia. All my music equipment, because I was doing music in Georgia, I moved here. I was like, I'm done with the music. All my music shit was in my aunt's garage, which is called C Green Mom.
Okay.
And one day C Green's like, man, we talking about opening up a studio. We found a spot. I'm like, bro, I'm not doing that shit. Y'all can have it.
Yeah.
So at this time, I didn't know who Sean was. They go find it. It's like, man, this spot dope. I'm like, whatever. I ended up getting a job in Louisville. One day after work, I called my cousin, like, where y'all at? When we at the studio, pull up. Studio ended up only being like 15 minutes from my job. So I pulled up right there on Royal Lane. And I pulled up to the joint. I already had the booth, wood floors. I was like, yo, this is dope. And that's when I met Sean. So initially, the studio was called Say Cheese Music Studios before I came involved. So, you know what I'm saying? At this time, Sean, I think, was doing like, just picked up the camera, but he wasn't doing interviews yet. He was just shooting like recaps from like parties and shit with Jay Hayes and all that.
For sure. And then, like, fast forward, like, how did you, when it transition to when you get back into doing the studio? Because I know I came to, like, y'all had, like, kickback at a studio. I believe that was your studio at the time. And that was like, I forget what year it was, but.
This is about 2000, I would say that's probably about 2013.
Yeah.
13, somewhere in there. Shit, man, I was hanging around. It ended up being close to my job. I was up that way all the time.
Okay.
My cousin C Green really didn't know how to engineer.
Okay.
I thought I knew how to engineer, right? So, because it's all my shit.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm sitting in there late nights, we engineering and shit. Sean, at this time, start picking up doing interviews. Anybody that would interview, freestyle or whatever, he started doing that. So people start coming through. I started doing like little artist, producer kickbacks at the studio. We just hanging out and shit. Next thing I know, I was just in there.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But then I was like, well, if I'm going to continue to spend my money, probably the dumbest move I ever made, but probably one of the smartest moves is, I was like, well, if I'm going to continue to spend my money, I'm not about to be under somebody else's brand name and Say Cheese. We're going to call this shit Studio 106. So that's what we called it. Probably the dumbest mistake. If I would have left it Say Cheese Music Studios, I would probably be a millionaire right now.
Nah, for sure. Now, like, to see, you know what I'm saying, where Sean Cotton, where you started with Cotton and to see where it went now, like what do you think about that? Like, did you see that vision for him then, or did you expect Say Cheese to blow how it did?
I saw it. I knew he was going to be a genius. I knew he was a genius, and I knew it was going to blow. Because he hit a niche that nobody ever thought about. This is pre-Instagram being what Instagram is today. You know what I'm saying? Social media, Twitter and stuff was popping, but I don't know what clicked in his mind. But I was like, this dude want to be a millionaire. Because the moment he decided to jump out of Dallas, I was like, if he start traveling, it's a wrap. And I saw him bouncing around throughout Dallas, and some people would accept him and some people would reject his ass. And then he bounced.
Yeah.
He went to Houston. But I was like, yo, if you start hitting around other cities, you out of here. Next thing you know, he packing up Street Fat Boogie, them up in Southside Chicago in the slums. Like, them niggas out there with the wolves, don't know nobody, doing TTB Nez and Little Mouse and all of them. And then, you know, I brought him to Detroit, and that's when he interviewed Dex Osama.
Okay.
So, yeah, I knew it, bro. Hey, it was inevitable, man.
For sure. Now, like, shit, you went from, when did you stop managing Fat Boogie, Gun, and Streets? Like, what year was that?
I would say 2015.
2015, and like, why did that come to an end?
I made a mistake, and this is the biggest mistake I made. Too many artists at one time.
Okay.
Bro, it's no way to manage 3 artists with amazing talent by yourself. It's impossible. At this time, Gunn signed with Dirty Water Music Group. He got Johnny Cage popping, but then the label itself kind of fell in. It's a lot of, every day with Gunn, I'm spending more time hanging out at lawyer meetings, trying to get him out the label because there's inner fighting within the label. And one of the guys in the label one of the main investors wanted to pull out and bring Gunn to itself. Fat Boogie and Street, Fat Boogie was going through some shit, legal shit on his own.
Yeah.
Street, that's my guy and I love him. But Street had the talent too, but I couldn't get Street to move. Like, Street probably get pissed off about this, but I don't care. Like, I remember one time I got Street booked on the show for A3C. I got him, Gunn, and Boogie, all shows on A3C.
Okay.
Me and Boogie flew out together. We got there early, got the rental, got the hotels, everything settled. Sean even stayed with us. Gunn and Streets came on a later flight. I pull up to the airport, only Gunn walks out the airport. I'm like, what Street at? He's like, man, shit, I tried to wake that nigga up. He wouldn't come. He said, bro, he wouldn't wake up.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? So shit like that frustrated me. You know what I'm saying? I think the Street, one of the most lyrical dudes I ever met. You know what I'm saying? But that's what happened. At the end of the day, it was my fault taking 3 different artists and trying to manage them all at the same time. And that shit is absolutely impossible.
In facts, but I seen your work, bro. Like, you got them not only shows inside the city, but y'all was going out of state. You know what I'm saying? Doing shows and shit. Like, for people that's trying to get into the management game, like, what kind of advice could you give? You know what I'm saying? Like, I know people like, how do I get my artists on shows at this show? How do I do that? Like, what's some advice you can give to an up and coming manager, man? I
think, shout out to my guy Brick. He made a post the other day that was dope. It's like, to be a manager is probably one of the most deplorable positions you could have in the music industry.
Yeah.
Because you got to really be humble. You got to really be willing to wear a bunch of different hats. Like, to say you're a manager, one day you got to be a brother, one day you got to be a father, one day you got to be a lawyer, one day you got to be a security. You know what I'm saying? You got to be willing to lower yourself to do everything that's possible for the artist.
Right.
And to be a manager, if you're a manager who has the desire to be bigger than the artist, that's going to be a problem. And you got some managers who like that, who get artists only to get in places to big up themselves. But it's a balance, right? Like, you want to be humble and lower yourself, but at the same time, you got to be a bulldog. Like, you can't be passive. Yeah. So I would say, as a manager, you got to find that balance. You got to be willing to, humble yourself, but at the same time, you got to know when to turn into that aggressive and make that shit happen.
Sure. Now, shit, moving forward to, like, I want to say 2018, you started managing Pluto?
2019, actually.
2019, okay.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay, now, what was that experience like?
Oh, man, so, like, shout out to my business partner, G, who took over Mogul Media Studios, which is now G5 Studios. He was actually, let me start back. I started the podcast, right?
Yeah.
Mogul Moves Only. I had Lambo Luke, who had the exotic car rental joint. I brought him through. When I interviewed him, Big Trail came through.
Oh, okay.
At this time, Big Trail was managing Pluto.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't know Pluto like that. I remember him introducing me to him. I said, okay, cool. Fast forward, my business partner decided to jump in management. I was against it, but at the same time, he wanted to learn how to do it and jump off the porch. He made the same mistake I made, which I was trying to keep him from doing.
Yeah.
But he jumped out with 1 artist, and then he had 2 artists. And I was like, bro, you don't want to do that. Long story short, it failed. It didn't work out. I'm not going to say it failed, but they decided to part ways. I got to hang out with Pluto from like 2018 all the way up to this year. Pluto, man, amazing guy. If you know him, personality bigger than life. He takes up the room, fun, energetic. So I'm a very loyal dude. And I just enjoy hanging out with him. We went to Atlanta for the Core DJ conference. Got a chance to kind of kick it. We was roommates out there just having fun, man. I was like, bro, I really like the dude. And, so I told Pluto, if I ever get back in management, I definitely want to manage you. And one day I decided to take that leap of faith, like, yeah, you know what, let's do it. Yeah. And that's how I jumped in. I think officially maybe August, July, I started managing them.
Yeah.
And shit over with already.
Yeah, it's January 2020, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, let me ask you this: when you decided to manage Pluto, is that kind of like when you decided to let go of the studio and just stop? Okay.
Technically, about a year ago, I was battling with was the studio kind of like, you know what I'm saying, my passion.
Yeah.
Because at one point in time, you know, I was engineering all that stuff, was streeting them, I was recording them. That shit was fun. But then as I expanded, I had to become more on the executive side, so I spent more time on the marketing side, on the financial side of it, and less away from actually being in the studio shit. So I started to kind of look at myself like, was the studio something I really wanted to do? Okay. You know, you start seeing the liability, you know, like hip hop is dangerous. As much as we love it,
right,
it's dangerous as hell. So you just don't ever know if person in studio A just so happen to end up having beef with the person in studio 2 and they go to the bathroom.
Right.
And that shit can go down. And they just start losing peace at night. Like, damn, bro, I can't really sleep. You know what I'm saying? People shooting dice, people sleeping in the studio. It's like, bro, it was just starting to get a recipe for disaster, man. I couldn't sleep with that.
For sure. Now, 2019, you kind of jumped off. You let the studio go and you jump right into like Vlad TV at Dallas right now, man. You got your Vlad interviews going. Now, Mogul moves, you know what I'm saying? Mogul Media. But it's like you bring that flavor to the market here. Like I feel like nobody's doing interviews how you doing interviews right now. And shit, like what was that like? Like just jumping into it. How did the city receive you?
Shout out to Dallas, man. Dallas, since I've been here, bro. Y'all, you know, coming from Detroit or whatever, being a Detroit cat, man. Y'all have so many assets and so much talent here that y'all really could have rejected me and went with somebody else. But Dallas, man, I never really bumped into no problems here, man. Like people accepted me with open arms. I think sometimes being from a different place, people can only judge you by how you present yourself. Can't nobody check here in any hood and try to vouch where I'm from or where I'm not from, because that's big here. People always debating about, oh, this person really not from here and the person ain't really from here. I mean, you can go to Detroit and find out if I'm from Joy Road or not, but that's verified. But you know what I'm saying? No, man, I have no issues, man. I just thank Dallas, man, for really just accepting me in and, you know, taking me in like a stepchild. You know what I mean?
For sure. Now you say you from Joy Road. That's the same spot T Grizzly from,
same
right?
high school too.
Okay, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, now shit, you got some pretty controversial interviews going on right now. I wouldn't say controversial, but it's a little they pissed a few niggas off. You know what I'm saying?
Trey Ward don't follow me, man.
What?
Yeah, that's up, bro.
Damn, for real?
He don't follow me, bro.
Wow, bro. Like, why you think he unfollowed you though?
I think once I posted that clip where Rainwater said like Lil Ronnie, Trey Ward about the radio clip where they at now.
Yeah.
I don't know if he felt like, you know,
like
I coerced him.
Oh, okay.
You know, Rainwater to make that comment. I don't know. But also, I haven't reached out to Trey Ward and said, why you unfollow me? I mean, it's your social media. You do what you want to do. But I did notice that.